Hey, what's up, you guys? Maxwell's World. It's been like a month since I made a video. Aside from my graduation video, I decided to upload for shits and giggles, and yeah. Um, it's pretty much an update video, I guess. It's been a long, trying day, an emotional day, and I'm just learning so much about myself and the way that my internal moves and works and ticks. And I swear to God, there's so many things new and familiar and not, that are so deep rooted in the core of my being. It totally can just like tank me and blindside me, rightfully so. So quite a few things have been bubbling to the surface, and I'm in recovery, as I mentioned, and I use ceremony and therapy, talking groups, processing groups, sometimes open mics, whatever I can use pretty much to shed light on things and then work through it, or just discover it and just sit with it. And I don't know if I'm gonna have to come out again. Like, I've come out twice in my life. Once as a lesbian, so I thought, but still valid. That's what I did at that time. Second time now as a trans man, transgender. And now maybe a third time will be happening, and it will be that I might be pansexual. And for me, that brings up a lot of stuff. A lot of internalized shame and guilt and judgment and being hard on myself and critical on myself. And what I realized is, for over 20 years, I mean, there's been different things that I guess my body and my spirit's been trying to sort through, but I stuffed it down. It's like, pick a topic, as all of us, like with issues that we have with ourselves, around other people, or maybe with people. And for the longest time, I knew I loved women and I loved femininity. And this is like still something like very recent that my soul has expressed to me. Well, again, I guess I should say. So, I mean, I've had sexual traumas in my past, and because of said traumas, I've had reasonable and unreasonable fear with other men. And I've like set a lot of prayers and intentions and words and energy and given it to the universe, like how to work through that, and some of it's been like some random radical concepts and ways of doing it, and then like more structured. And I feel like because of I've asked for those things, I don't know how the package will be presented. And so earlier this week, the package was presented. And like, so it's just like involving reprogramming and training and reconditioning out of these ways of thinkings that I placed myself in a box. Now, mind you, there is a society element in there. There's an environment element in that. Even in our own community of LGBT, there's haters, there's critics, there's stigma, there's discrimination. Things we all know, right? I may have even felt. And like, when I realized that I was trans almost a year ago, it was like, it felt like such a godsend and like a weight off my shoulders, because I had been finding myself like attracted to qualities in men. And I mean, I myself am an alcoholic and an addict and a sex addict and a love addict, and so like I'll use whatever in order to check out, and back when I was young in adolescence, I didn't know that's what I was doing or why I was doing it, so needless to say, man or woman, sometimes things would happen, more with women than men. And why am I doing this in this video, exposing this? Or that's what I feel like I'm exposing myself. I'm being vulnerable and open because this is my experience. It can be useful for others. So here we go. Even though it's uncomfortable, even though it's scary, even though, so this is me doing the opposite of what I've been doing for 20 years. So I'm trying to free myself, but and help others at the same time. So it's not all coming from a me standpoint. Just like with anything else, you're not alone if you're going through this. Other people go through these things. And so anyway, for the longest time, I thought it was because I was bisexual. And it's not like there's anything wrong with being bisexual. It's not like there's anything wrong with being gay, wrong with being straight. There's nothing wrong with any of it. I'm saying this more for me, so my mind, the subconscious, can hear it, not for you. And yeah, for the longest I thought it was bi, and so I just did not talk about that when I was identifying as a lesbian at all. And I drank over it, I drugged over it, and did whatever, and didn't look at it, and just stuffed it down. So because of that, and now I'm dealing with all the things, it came back on me like tenfold, Pandora's boxes. So, in the short version, I am working on just being okay with man or woman hitting on me, identifying man or woman hitting on me, and it's okay and it's fine and it's not comfortable. I'm working on it being comfortable, but it feels okay when I'm just quit being hard on yourself, quit stuffing yourself in this little hole, quit beating yourself up about this, man. It's not the end of the world. And then when I am gentle with myself and show forgiveness and compassion, then that veil of just oh, it's this, is completely taken away and smashed. And I'm oh, dude, what the hell? It's still the same in the sense of you see a beard, this person is good looking. You can address someone and say they're good looking without it leading to all this other, or meaning all this other thing. The anxiety, the fear is just ruling you in this, and your emotions and false evidence appearing real. And so I have a lot to work with on that, and this isn't gonna go away overnight, but I'm at the beginning of it finally, I guess. So that means talking about it out loud, talking to other people about it, and then having a professional, a therapist, help me sort and navigate through this. Because me and my own thinking, I will do some radical stuff to test it and see, and all the stuff that could be avoided. And so I want to do things that are less harmful, less risky for everything about me, mentally, physically, emotionally. So I gotta check in with other people. And then on top of that, so there's and then you have testosterone thrown in the mix, right? And for me, I don't know about you guys, but I've heard more often than not, it over sexualizes things. And so it's man or woman, it don't matter. My dick takes over, and it's just oh, this sounds good. Let's talk to this person, or yeah, let's receive compliments or whatever from this. It doesn't even matter. And then so I'll have to sort through the filter. What is it? Is it this? Is it this? Is it that? Is this a reality? Is this the testosterone? Is this what is it? So needless to say, more complexity, and life is uncertain. And when this came up, and if it is true, which about 90% doesn't feel like it's true, but there's something happening here. So I've also been working on other issues, abandonment issues, and more fears, and mainly abandonment issues. That's been coming up a lot for the last 2 weeks. So this feels underlined that's what it is. Because what's the fear? The fear is that I'm going to be lonely. I'm going to be alone. I'm going to be abandoned. If I was pansexual, I would lose more friends. I would... One more thing for society, environment, and everything else to get on me about, other than I'm a person of color, other than I'm Native American, other than I'm trans, even if I don't always want to carry that title. Even this, that, so it could be this, that, and the third. But regardless, I'm in that mind state of fearing too much of what people are going to think, if they're going to talk shit, and all these things. So I got to work on all that with these new issues that have boiled to the surface So they're new to Maxwell, but they're not new to the dead name. Thanks for watching.